welcome back to Realationship, where average people have real discussion and discuss issues in and around the sphere of relationship while dating or in a steady relationship. We're just gonna chop it up tonight. Tonight we have two special guests on the show. We have Miss Tanil, and I will allow her to introduce herself. Hello, say hi to the viewers.
Good night. I'm Philip's wife.
Well, she threw it out there. Never gonna do that, but she threw it out there.
Yeah,
All right.
all right.
And again, thank you for coming back. The lovely Miss Jaw back again to share some views with us. How are you, my dear?
Hello, all. Thank you guys for having me back. It is indeed a pleasure. I'm well.
All
Looking
right.
forward to this discussion tonight.
All right. All right. And as usual, Mr. Controversy himself, Capo, talk to the
Yeah, we
people.
want to talk the
Them.
things and we want to talk about the money. Don't know
All
how it
right.
goes deep
All
over
right.
there. So let's get
And
at it.
Mr. Level, keeping it
But
balanced.
I feel
Very
correct,
balanced.
because I'm not average, I'm above average. I'm not an average guy.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, me be correct that I'm not
You're
an
a high
average.
value
Me
man.
above
You're a high
average.
value.
Above,
Yeah.
yeah, heading to, yeah. Well, yeah, man, money talk. You know them say walk. So
All
ready for
right.
it.
So the question, as the gentleman the gentleman alluded to, was money. And that's what we are gonna talk about now. That's why we did have to get the woman them for come on to talk about this, because in today's society, women are persecuted for wanting the money. They are saying people say that's all them want out of a man, and them do all of that because the man have the money. So we're gonna clear up a few things and get a couple understanding on why money is important, both for male and female. So, and when you talk about money when you start to date somebody. So, as from here's the question, ladies. You and this man, who not get tight, who not get closer, things are go right. When is it that when is it okay for discuss finances? Which one I don't want to take that one at first?
Finances in what aspect? Like, what
In
are we
general,
discussing?
goals, where we want to achieve,
Hmm.
where we are gonna do if we in the same space together, how things are gonna get done,
Spending
habits,
habits. Yeah.
spending habits, weighing alike. These are the things where I think people avoid talking about in our culture until it get to the back against the wall, nitty gritty come in now and start arguing about it. So when is it that we for changing narrative of going forward the relationship, when is it okay to start discussing finances?
Um, I think within the first year of it, of
Here.
everything, yeah, within the first year, because why will waste time? If we've been seeing each other, we like each other, see where things are going, and things are progressing to a great level, not level, but
Yeah.
what what are we holding out on? We need to know what are the goals of each person in the relationship. What is it that everybody's expecting from the relationship, and where are we going together? Are we thinking of kids? Are we thinking of house? One person wants a white picket fence versus not. What are we doing? So that discussion needs to be had, so we know if we're wasting each other's time or not. Are we going to be going forward, yes or no? So within the first year of it, I think we need to have a discussion about where we're going and how we're getting there.
All right, Tanya, let me hear your 2 cents on this lovely topic.
So I think once you start dating somebody and you seeing each other on a consistent basis, then I think it's fair game to start talking about money. And the reason I say that is because even in the course of just dating somebody, you go out, go have dinner, you go out, go to different activities, you might go places, you might want to spend a weekend somewhere. And it takes money to do all of those things. So you kind of have to have a conversation and know where each other is at money wise. Once you decide to start seeing each other on a consistent basis, because in order for you to do all of those activities that will help your relationship to grow and for you to have shared experiences, it's going to take money.
And to add to that, you mentioned going out on weekends, dinner dates. If we are just going to come as women and say, okay, you need to pay for all of this every time we go out, then it is going to be perceived that we are gold diggers, and it is going to be perceived that we are bringing nothing to the table. So
Only one
what
thing.
are we
Only one
about?
thing when I bring to the table at that point.
Yeah.
That's what we are going
The,
to do.
Is the table? Is the table? We're bringing the table to
No,
they're
the
not
table.
exactly. You're
bring
bringing
the
the
table.
table at that point.
The,
But
the brand new refurbished, but then polish off.
yeah, them polish off and care back, come back on the scene. All right, let me ask this question then, because we hear, I hear, want to say, I get the two different perspectives, but it still kind of sound the same. But for men, at least, I'm gonna make the other two men talk for themselves. From my perspective, going into a situation like that, dating, why most women don't approach it like what Taniel just said? Because obviously you have to spend money for the dinner, for the going out, for the this, and most women don't allow the man to ask the question, hey, you want to come in on this? If him do that so soon, it seems like, no, what kind of man this?
Walk
He
if
want
man.
to spend money, a broke man. And that is why I think, personally, finances should be discussed even long before you go we are deep in all of that. Because from day one, money is spending on. You go buy patty, you go buy burger, you go and you start to upgrade her to restaurant and dinner. Money is
No,
spent from day
you will like me though. You come look me,
Correct.
so make we go out on date. What
So,
you mean?
Correct.
You
From
know,
day
more
one.
on touch that
hold
topic
on,
there.
hold
Hold
on.
on, level. Hold on,
You
hold
want
on,
to
Correct.
touch it?
hold on,
Me
level.
want to grab it.
Yeah,
because
me touch
you
it.
want to touch.
Because Philip said something a while ago when we want for job back fund.
I
A
know.
couple years ago when we used to work in a new thing, sir. You know, might hear that story
Night idea.
already. So, we used to always go juicy beef and see one nice girl.
Mhm.
Can't build up the courage to step to the girl, right? Anyway, we'll leave for lunchtime. Eventually, make the courage to go over and talk to her, whatever. Anyway, me we start talk. She did order me, order me go over, we communicate. Fine. At the end of the conversation, because it wouldn't be a lunch date, it's just a conversation, we get to know each other. Some say, yo, I always here want to get to know you. I'm want see you again. Can I take you out to lunch? So she said, yeah, sure. So I reply and say, same time, same place. Home girl said, no. She don't want to go on a lunch date, a juicy beef. She want to go somewhere more inviting, somewhere more luxurious than, so to speak, in not so many words. So even something as simple as that, I think dating, as I say, is so expensive, as both females alluded to that. It is costly. And nobody wants to go somewhere below average. Everybody wants to go somewhere upon a level where they can snap and post and say, oh, I'm gonna eat this and take picture and look nice. So from day one, money is involved in every relationship, whether you want to admit it or not. So the sooner you can address the issue of the person being on your plateau financially, it's going to be an issue at some point, and it's only so long before you can hopscotch around the reality of it.
But what are
Hold
we
on,
discussing? Because
hold
this
on,
this seems like a
hold on,
more.
man. Hold on,
No,
man.
no,
All right,
no. We're
you
gonna
Hold
get back
take
to
it
it.
level.
on,
One,
hold on. I have two things I want to grab, right?
One.
All right, two things. I'm gonna talk about chess. Anyway, listen now. All right, you see the topic of finances. We kind of offer discussion. I'm gonna kind of expose on certain things I mentioned before. I'm gonna kind of want to bring to the forefront now, right? Because I think the talk about finances and spending habits and all that, I don't think it should come before you decide, all right, so may I look on a girl there upon a level, or may I look on a guy upon a level. So so you want to move to exclusivity. So before all that, I don't think I want to get into that right off the bat, and I don't decide if I want to go anywhere further with this girl than having this drink. Yes, and than having this conversation. You know what I mean? Secondly, just like anything, if you go plan to buy a house and you're broke, you understand? You go put in certain things so you can get the finances to do it. Just like dating, so dating costs money. And that day, hold on, man. This
no, we
is
are
the
listening.
point. Yeah. So dating costs money. You know what I mean? So just like anything else, your budget for it. You know what I mean? If you know, say, all right, cool, you know, so I want to date, I date several person. I make this amount, this one I have in terms of disposable income after me did all of my bills and support. You understand? All right, you maybe can only afford to date one girl. So you have to pick the best one. Or afterwards, you might say, you know, so you can take out a few because the dating itself involves spending money. You understand? So you can't want to say, may I go date? And generally, once you say a girl, you may date you, want to carry out. She expects certain things. She expect to be wowed. You know what I mean? Because you try is a type of pampering in a sense. So I think that when it comes to talk about finances, it's more come like when you start thinking a little bit more serious about somebody. So you know, man. All right, you know, so we know some things while we're at dates. I'm a feel if I go move forward, we have to go to the fact say you love gamble. You know what I mean? Because you know, say in a 2 years time, I want to buy a house and certain things. So, you know, so you know, say, all right, I might start with I bring a guy District 5, but probably next year when things serious, I may lock me for my house. We have to do some takeouts and dining. You know what I mean? And you know, I saw you test the result. So that are my 2 cents on the topic.
All right, women, let's turn this back. May I have a question and then want to hear the women answer to this. So basically, the men them must say, listen, them not gonna tell you about money until them serious about it. What if you?
No, Capo said it's a discussion that needs to be had right off the bat because dating takes money.
I stand with Capo on that one. Level have a different point of view because him want to wait till it get real serious, and at that point, to me, it's kind of too far down in the thing because you might catch a whole heap of feelings and it's hard to detach that now because you're too deep in now. What want to say about that?
You must know what your feelings can afford,
brother.
No, but I mean, that's why I asked, what type of discussions are we having? Because if it's just surface discussions about where we're going to eat and where we're going this weekend and who paying for it, then that's just really surface. So if we're talking about finances to the relationship.
When you talk about dating, you discuss about pay feet. I mean, I take you out. That's the thing. I mean, I take you out.
Me.
But remember, me say, hey, I want to take you out.
I agree with you.
But we must have money.
Spend your dirty money.
We not dispute that part. I'm talking about
exactly.
Not the bill. We're not talking about the bill. What we are talking about is here. Let's break it down. Me and this girl going out. We are going at least 5, 6, 7, 8 times. Why not have a conversation about how do you, and I said to this in our earlier recording, a lot of time around culturally, when somebody wants to talk about finances in our culture, they quick to think how much you make, not about money. And that's not the question. We're not asking each other how much each other make. We just want to see how each other understand what money is to them, how they look at their finances. Because it's a big difference, you know. Me asking you about finances, not me asking you how much money you carry home.
But again, Philip, look on it. Remember, say money, talking about money is tied into my level of comfort with this individual. So if we're not comfortable with you, we're not gonna have certain conversations.
Yeah,
so say it come at a stage.
That is true.
Wait about that. Let give Tani a chance. Tani, you just look pensive and words to say.
Yeah, she look very uncomfortable.
So a few things. One, Capo, you're wrong to tell the girl so you're gonna meet her back where you see her. To carry her back. That is not consistency. That is not consistency at all. I mean, don't blame her for turning down. How you're rude. No, you and I can't get to know each other while everybody are trying for other than Patty, right? So no. So she did deserve a little bit better than that. I agree with Level that once you start to get some level of consistency in a relationship where you feel like this is gonna go somewhere, that is when you have the money discussion. I firmly believe that chivalry is not dead. You're right, Level. Pay feet, pay for the dinner, pay for where we are go, pay for all of that. But then as women, we have to also get to the point where we realize that this man is investing not only in time, but in finances into us. And then we as women, because I believe so woman have them own money and wholly by it, you at a point should be able to say, to that man that has paid for all the dates or majority of the dates and majority of the going out at some point. Hey, no worry, this time I've got it. Or you're buying him a watch, or you're buying him a shirt, or some sneakers, or woman forget man things, just like old man forget woman things.
And I'm going to segue from what you said with that. My loved wife Tanil. I'm segueing on the financial.
You're owner up now.
Yeah, me.
Don't, no.
All right. But all right. So let's segue that. You bring up a good point. Woman for have money, woman for do this. Now, the mass majority of women will not agree with what you just said. Because
I was just about to say that.
Again, if a man make less than a woman and she know, she not go make him live it down. She not going to make him live it down. So we're going to segue from now. When she have it and she can do better than him, she not going to, because she going to force him to make him know, say, yo, watch you know. Me have no one in on this and that. Not talk about you. I'm just saying, this, the mass.
Yeah.
The general.
Like that's a whole heap.
But it is true.
That's way too much.
I would agree. Remember, say mass
cannot
is
agree with that
51%, you know. Remember, mass is 51%. So it's the majority we're talking about. And to be fair, I would even go above 51. Most women do not and would not be comfortable with a man that earns less than them, unless
we're on a finding these women.
Unless the man is in a position that even though he's earning less, it's still enough to run his portion of the bills for the household.
Bills portion of.
Yeah, whether them cut it 50-50 or whatever the case is. So, you know, him can still do for him half, but half she still earn more. Half, 60%, whatever.
Level.
Hold on, man. Hold on, listen, all right. Hold on, man. You know, say, hold on a little bit. All right, fine. So, yeah, you know, man, live together now, right? You know, man, live together now, right? And make your food, right? Now remember, you know, just like if in a roommate setting, right? You know, say at any time you can leave, so you have to ensure, say, no matter what, we can still manage everything. So you know, going to the household, only can manage half. You're going to know and say you can manage more than half because you know you have to give yourself room for right. So in that point, because I think in a bill setting with a woman, I think it's more when the man probably the month it not go so good, you know what I mean? So the wife say, yo, all right.
I don't think it's more about bills. I think it's from, again, what Tanil said is accurate for that small portion of women that believe that they should do that for their husbands, for their boyfriends. So the small majority. The mass, as Kappa said, 51%, will not agree with what Tanil just said. She will say, my money are for me, your money are for me and you.
Yep.
Big difference.
And that's what I mean. So me say, because when you're going to the whole society under that 51% mindset, right? You have to go in and know and say, oh, you can manage everything.
I agree. You should be able to do that because I've seen so many. I mean, I lie. I've personally seen situations.
All right, this difference now. Well, no, this is where finance is coming now. But if you have goals as a couple, this is where now you come in and know, so you know, you know you can manage all, but you know, so we work towards this and that and that.
So we're going
you know what I mean? So that is where now, but that's why the conversation is important, because if you don't have the conversation and you don't recognize couple goals, you're going there yourself be the man. And then achieve no goals that now move the way. And then the more you can
end up
do
being stagnant and she flourish.
And then she know I start see everything she don't like about you.
All right, Miss Jack, talk to it, because you look puzzled. What you have to say about the men them myself on the thing?
The 51% has stressed me out. That 51, I think it is way too high.
So are you telling us that women are saying what Tanil is saying?
I would agree so. Well, I mean, more the women that I know that are in my circle would be agreeing with Tanil. But Tanil, I do, and
I don't think I wouldn't say it's the majority, but I feel like it's close to it, unfortunately.
Wow.
I feel like it's close to it. And even if the women don't outrightly say that, they secretly have that expectation.
Well,
And that's
Yeah.
kind of, that's not the best. I mean, it's not the ideal scenario, is what I say, because every woman is different. Every woman have different goals and aspirations and all of that type of stuff. But I feel like it's pretty close because there's still a lot of women who feel like the man must provide every single thing. You know what I mean? And then when these same men cheat on them or leave them unexpectedly, they are left trying to be like, they're not even pick up the pieces. They might find a next one.
well, let's go back to I think we had a conversation some time ago about this thing, man being the provider. Isn't that what we were taught?
It
So
is.
why is it that
Yeah, but
no,
is it
as women, we're chastised for living out
no,
what
there's
it
a
is that we were
difference.
taught?
There's a difference. And
What is
that's
the
why for
difference?
me, all right, and I was even saying it before with level. I've seen relationships where them break up, but because the bills them cut 50-50, nobody can left or find another place to live. So they have to be single but
Roommates.
living together. Yeah, them turn roommates,
Mhm.
right? So yes, it would be perfect that a man is a provider and him can do everything in the house and you are just being the princess that you're supposed to be. But realistically, the social landscape or the financial landscape
Changed.
has changed exactly. It really, and then the type of lifestyle that both parties want to live, because I'm
Right.
sure if if needs be, most people can live on their own, but where are you going to live? Are you going to be safe there? Can you push your gate at 10 o'clock at night, 11 o'clock at night? So you want to live in a certain area, you want to drive a certain car, you want to dress a certain way. So you want this type of lifestyle. How much persons can afford you that? So you have to give and take as to what your expectation is, as well as what is out there.
All this conversation, as Level said, has to take place after a certain time. This is not during the dating scene, because this is once we have started to get closer, we're starting to discuss things and whatever, which is why I said it has to be within the first year of where we're going. But because this is deep conversation, are
But
we
my
going to be
thing,
living here? Are we going to be doing
But
this?
all right, let me
It's
ask the
planned.
question. So let me ask
wait,
the question.
before you ask it, the reason why I say it has to be done early, because as you said, Philip, you're going to be invested. And as lovely as Jacqueline might be, and she this and she this and she whatever, but she earn a third of what I earn. That's gonna put a burden on me. So am I going to make my heart draw me left, or am I gonna make my mind draw me right? Because throughout the relationship, nobody's saying from date one you're going to say where we're going to live, how we're going to live, one kid, two
Yeah.
kid, primary. But you start have some amount of conversation about finances and you peel back on the onion as you go
So
along.
so then what is your role as a man and as a partner? If I earn less than you or one third less than you, what is your role then? Where's your level of encouragement? Where's your level of trying to get me closer to you in terms of earning power? What is your
Well,
role
and
as a
then
man?
that is where the onion peel back come in. Because if
Yeah.
yes, I might not know until we get serious a year into it that you actually earn a third. But based on our conversation, we
All
say, so
right,
Janelle have
pick
ambition.
a pin
She
right there,
want
sir.
this. We can put her in a situation here and we can do things. You want to go back to school. So
Exactly.
I
Hold on.
would not put you in a box about the third only. Now I look and say, okay, she's a third. However, we can move her to a half and a 75% in a year.
And that is
Yeah.
why I said when having these conversations about finances, it's not particular asking how much do you make? Because
Mm-hmm.
what that's two different things. If me I talk to you about finances, but from culturally, we have this conversation. If somebody in our culture look at you and say and start to talk about finances, the first thing we go to is them want to know how much we make. And that's not the question. is what Kappa just said. I make a third, yes, but I'm in a different position from you, trying to help out to see if, all right, together we can take a next level. Not necessarily because I make 10 and you make 3, we can't come together. No, we just need to know and understand if we're there on a mental, financial level.
You know, right. But when you want to know that, when you just meet a girl or when you want to know that,
the earlier the better. I can talk.
You know what I would say? It really depends, because there could be people that are listening to this show who in their mid-20s, and they may wait longer for have these conversations, as well as there could be more mature people that listen to this show who, so I think it really depends on where you are in your life. Because if you're dating at 22, 23, it may not be as important to have that discussion sooner rather than later, as opposed to if you're 37. You know what I mean? Those discussions happen sooner. Everything is a little bit like, fast-tracked because of where you are, the stage and age that you are in life. So it really depends, I think.
Agreed.
I agree.
So let me ask this question then. Since Tanya said it depends. All right, so dating in your 20s, finance, why isn't finance important at 23 as it is at 34? Because it affects you.
Because you're not look for the same thing.
Because we're not look for nothing. Man to spend money them time there and take out girl pan date and carry them everywhere they want.
At 22, you just start earning a piece of food. You're not on a rent, you're not on a mortgage, you're not on a car.
I'm not saying it is wrong. I'm asking why we don't change the mindset of think about that.
Because, all right, and here I go up one. It's a point we talk off here, because whenever grow up, having discussion with our parents, whenever observe our parents talking about money. So it wasn't something that was a trait in the family. All right, it was handed down. Yes, and that is why it is so uncomfortable. And that's why it has to be someone that you're comfortable with, because from day one, when I got to talk to my brother and say, say that week, not 1 month, and maybe no home, I go make it out first of the month. And a brother might say, probably might cut back on, you love drinks, so cut back on buy 2 guineas a week and buy 1. You understand? But me not necessarily go to my girl now and say that. You understand?
Why?
Why?
Sorry. Why you not do that? Because, as I said, because
your girl or somebody you're dating, you try.
Someone date because as a level of comfort, you know what I mean. So we're comfortable, we can't just because Capo now go look at me and judge me. Then right, he's not gonna judge me because I live for broke now in them time. He's not gonna judge me. You understand? However,
so basically, let me ask this. So from a man point of view, hold on, Tony. From a man point of view, you're saying the reason why we don't broach the topic of finances most of the time is because you don't want the judgment from the woman.
You don't want to judgment. Worse.
No.
Hold on, man. We just want to talk raw and straight, you understand? Raw and straight. Worse.
All right, Tanya, talk to it. Why you say no?
So what I'm saying is men need to stop thinking women go and judge them for stuff like that. First of all, I think in our culture, in a Jamaican culture, men don't show them vulnerability. They don't show them true selves to women in a lot of situations. And those are the things that hinders relationships from moving forward. If my man have a hard time financially, nobody out the road not supposed to know that except me. If me and him are sleeping at the same bed at night time.
All right, I'm always talk about this example. A man, I don't want to live together, and the woman now work, and nobody in the complex or the community will know. But as soon as the man now work, everybody knows.
Well, Tanya,
let me tell you, I think it
always talking, always say it, and I sweat go.
Scandal the man and say
that is because guess what?
Because
only man can stop feel like they will be judged is when woman can stop judging man. You know what I mean? Because
no,
because guess what? It's known fact if you're broke, you're not getting a girl.
But then wouldn't you agree that it goes back to the same thing that Tanya just said? Is your age. Because a woman who is 35, 37, 40 is thinking differently.
You know, so meant to agree with Tanya on the age because guess what?
No, sir.
Woman, listen, the woman them at 21 and 22, the man them we are 45 and 50. I pay them school fee and I pay. And I'm look one the man about 20 ones. Listen to me. Your lunch money can do for me, you know. Somebody else with them.
Yeah, school boy lunch money done on Friday.
So from my team of finances long time. I'm first channel star. I'm for the person come. Get a girl, you know.
So
Sorry, I
here's
want
That
to
is a
get this young
different
lady.
conversation.
no, let's not veer too far from the topic
Alright,
because
Yeah,
sorry,
that's a
true,
different
true.
so here's the thing.
conversation.
Here's what I'm saying. Now, based on the conversation with level of Tani Lab and Miss Jar and Cap, una have different segments of the conversation. So bring it back to the core. If we don't have these discussions early, in my opinion, you can avoid a lot of things going forward.
But then you have persons like Level who are not comfortable having these discussions
And I
Right.
know
from early.
Tani
Because
made
you're afraid
it,
of the judgment.
but
Yeah,
Tani
because
made
we
it
never
clear.
go that way.
Tani
We
said
never
it right.
go with that
It's
level
a
of comfort.
cultural thing. And
Judgment day, wicked. Some go
Tani,
Sunday school.
well, I know Tani and Level said the same thing, you know. Tanila say culturally we not gonna talk about it, and Level say it. We never see our parents are talk about money,
Exactly.
so we think it's uncomfortable. It shouldn't be uncomfortable to tell
Shouldn't.
somebody, say, listen, me want certain things in our life, you know, and me I go this me I try achieve. What say you? And here where she talk about money, here how him talk about money. That should never be a difficult conversation to happen in the first 3 dates. That should never
So
be uncomfortable.
Well, because you are going now. You see, you come to the girl and say, boy, baby, you know, so me I try to achieve this thing. So you are. So in a fear of mine, I say, backside, you know, so me not get a
him have
seafood date.
ambition.
Seafood
no,
date
that's
cut
not
out, you know.
gonna say.
And in a fear of mine, I say, well, my cup back, so backside, no more seafood date. Peas and peas, no more weekend in the country. I've got to do some
I don't know what
cooking.
kind of girl them this.
Me-
Where
me-
kind of girl them from?
It's like, listen, man, that out there, you don't understand this thing.
We have to talk about the caliber of girls though, because
look,
this,
Wanna talk to?
Listen,
Yeah.
Listen, these things to
see,
Tani. Like where
hold
where
on,
are we
man,
looking
hold
for
on.
these people? Where you find them?
Capo, talk to them,
where
Hold
girl
on,
them
hold
from?
on,
Capo, talk
hold
to
on.
them,
No, the truth of the matter is, and you see,
talk to them.
let's put it into perspective, and maybe that is why Levi said him don't do it early in the relationship. Because, for example, if you meet a man today and a man say to you, him just get released from jail, probably right away you put up a wall.
Another
Murderer,
wall.
rapist,
The
whatever,
wall,
whatever.
the airport, everything that I saw
Everything,
was just gone in
exactly.
a one
You
different
just ease
context.
him off. Exactly.
Bring the
However,
final, Capo,
if
bring
the
the final.
man, if you get to know him 3 months in, and him say, you know, so me in a jail, and you say, really, what you do? And him explain it to you,
Rape.
it cushion a little better because now you've gotten to know him
Comfortable.
and then put things into perspective. So if me know you for 3 months and we're dating and you've gotten to know me, and you say,
Yeah.
Mr. Courtney is a really nice guy, whatever, and I said, and then I say, baby, no, so I see a place I want to buy and I want to save. So right now, I'm on a thing. Your perception of that statement is way different from first or second date. Baby, no, so this is my last date because, you know, I forgot to start being some crackers and sardine
All
and
right.
some Netflix thing. So I go pump or break and say,
Me I
yo,
try to flip
No,
it.
no, but then, hold on,
Capo.
Capo. No, all right, you gone off of the deep end with that. When I
No,
say
sir.
approach the
The man
topic
is
of
shallow.
finances, you can have a conversation about money without getting into those deep nitty gritty. You need to have somebody concept of money. If you say to, all right, for example, boy, we want to invest some money in a such and such, you know, just to pick them brain on little investment thing and that. At certain age, you should be at certain point and say, well, I'm
Hold
really
on, Philip. Let me ask you a question. All right. What you want to achieve by having this financial conversation? Because probably
I'll tell you.
yes. Yeah.
I would tell you what you want to achieve is a life of comfort with you and her. Because
well, that's the thing. Suppose as some pum pum me I look at now, let's look some pum pum.
everything gone back to pum pum, you know.
But you but that's the thing. That's what I show you. It have to wait until
But
you
guess what?
reach
If that is the
certain-
case, Level, if that is the case, guess what you have to go do? You just have to go pay feet. You have to go pay feet.
And then you now go
Comes
reach.
at a cost. It's not for
Hold
free.
on, man. All right, hold on.
It's not for free, Level. So you have to just pay a fee.
But sometimes, you know, sometimes the girl will see you, she take the wine and dine, but really and truly just know say, yo, must enjoy this with the entertainment value.
Right.
You know what I mean? When we go out with you, we have a vibe, we feel good, we drink and we laugh, we nice and rain. Me not think about anything past that. So me I talk about other things. I got to start for my enjoyment. That's just I'm just serious. Look out, Captain.
But
Yeah,
then,
come over there, sir.
oh,
Yeah,
you
it's like
But eat a party.
she's gonna say it's like you want married me after 3 weeks. I want you doing that.
you see, and you know why? And this is why a lot of people, when they get later down in life, them look back with a little bit of regret. Say, Jano, if me
Regret.
did,
True.
we can't sit
You know
down here and
why?
say you want
Because-
pum, or you want wine and dine, or you want whatever. I know
Flowers
if
and
you're fact.
chocolate.
This is facts now. If we should put out a poll tonight, by tomorrow morning, ladies say how they felt about their financial decision while dating in their 20s, what they would have changed, 99.8 of them have said.
Let me ask you a question, Philip.
Why
Well,
let's
let's
not-
put it on the
What kind
relationship
of
page,
finances them?
Capo.
Yo, listen, the woman them are them for shame. Because them not spend no their money, man, I take them out, man, I pay them rent, man, all these things. And when they reach 30, them still broke. What
Jesus.
not doing in the money?
Daniel, take that one. Come and see
No,
again.
me
Yes,
can't
Daniel,
agree.
cause
Yes, sir. What not doing in the money then? You know, the 120s, mother wine and dine, so you not pay for no, not even your nails and hair you have pay for. Nothing you not pay for 10 years, 15 years. I reach 35, I'm broke.
Is a caliber woman.
or maybe you think so we broke.
That too, because that is a strategy, you know. That is
Yeah.
a strategy.
Woman
in and
never
of
broke
itself.
Oh.
That is
oh.
a
Woman
strategy
always
and a
go
very
on
good
like them
one at
broke,
that.
but
So hold on,
lady.
so
Very
hold on,
good
no.
one.
So hold on, no. So if every week you change wig and now you're going with braids, I will go on.
We just want a different hairstyle.
That's
For-
right.
But
for 6
I
months.
just think personally, we need, as a culture, we need to figure out how to have money conversation so we can avoid certain back against the wall conversation deep in our relationship.
But I still say
But the
it's still
conversation has to be had
Right.
when you have decided that this is the
Right.
person, me a
Right.
feature. Me
Yeah,
like
well,
she,
I mean,
me
But
like
then
him.
let's again,
and-
9 out of 10 relationships doesn't happen like that. 9 out of 10 relationship don't happen like that. It's easy we say, oh, it should happen, but it don't.
Well, I know,
So
you
hold
know,
on,
Capo,
so at
hold
what
on,
point
Capo,
does
you
it
know, they
happen,
come like
Philip?
Philip is a fly for enough wall restaurant and club.
May I
You know.
ask? So what? At what point does it happen in the relationship, Philip? When we're
But that is
too
it.
far into it?
Philip
Married
has a
and
second
don't have
date.
10
Philip's a
kids?
second date. Philip's a
A
second date.
second date. All right, see my wife
Philip
upon
said
it.
second
Philip,
When,
you're too
let's
far.
get personal a little bit here. When did we have money conversation?
Me
When
not
did we
know.
have what?
I may talk to Tani. When did we have money conversation? We have
I
money
don't know.
conversation.
To be honest, I don't know because Philip paid for everything.
See, then
Come
Oh,
true,
dear.
Philip.
Oh, dear.
Come true.
Oh, dear.
But
Oh,
even
dear.
so, we had money conversation. Even if I was paying for it, I knew the level I was at. I knew where she was at because we were having those conversations.
But Philip, but all right, look on this. Dates go through stages, right? All right,
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
Generally, may I get to know. You understand? But initially, it's entertaining. After
Yeah.
entertainment settled, then start say, you know, baby, what do you think about maybe IPOs? What do you think about the investments? What do you think about stocks and bonds? You understand? You want more kids? All right, what do you know? Them that question they come after
Do
certain
not
things.
understand the
Kind of.
more kids
Yeah.
part.
You understand? Right.
No,
So
I
on the
don't know.
second date now, when we're supposed to make a smile and laugh and feel Jerry and around me, may I say, so baby, you know that US drop now. What do you think about investing in USDs now?
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
No, but guys, well,
I agree with level. Second
Yeah,
date
so-
No,
is
we're
too
not.
Come
All
soon.
right,
on,
let's
come
not
on.
do
Second
second
date is too
date.
soon.
Too
we're not,
soon.
we're
What
not
I'm
lose
saying
focus.
Soon. Them time they was still have fun and yeah.
Yeah,
then-
we start
We're
trying
not
to
coming like
smile
the
and
half
laugh
without the
and
Yeah,
blind.
But me not
yeah.
We can't
understand.
move
So
too wide now.
fun
Oh, that's why
stop
we have to
when
go
you start
band
to
and
talk about
stocks.
money.
Huh?
Eh?
Fun stop when
Listen.
you start to talk about money.
And that me I say,
It's too heavy of a conversation
It
though.
got
You know
the
why?
real, it got the
know
real
why?
laughing
It's
because
because
they
it's
know
really
Yeah,
it's a
talking
different
about
mindset.
money.
It's like me take you out the date and put in an office.
And Philip, let me
No.
tell you something why it is not even a good idea at a second date. Even if you have two people who are very well off, independent of each other,
Yeah.
and then upon a second date, and either of them broach the topic of money, automatically them feel say, yo, you after my money, and vice versa.
And
Exactly.
that's my point. It's not necessarily what you want, it's where you want to go.
No. No, but
we're
the
not
second
talking
date,
about
you have
we
the
are
How it will
going
be
visibility where we're going.
interpreted, Philip. How it will be interpreted, you know.
We're not
That's
talking
why you
about
need it.
second date.
No,
That's
guys,
why you
hold
have to
on,
get to
That's a
hold on.
know,
stranger to
get
you.
comfortable,
Second date is
so you
a
can
stranger.
know. Well, Philip,
Hold on.
that's why you need to know, get comfortable, so you can know how to bring up the money argument.
Right.
Because when you get to know her, you know, it might be something like your baby Ray, or but when you get to know her, it might be you have to easy teen just because of the personality that you deal with. So on
Yeah.
second date,
Yeah,
you
but
have to
all
appreciate
right,
them
but guys,
things.
hold
Well,
on.
keep saying
The
second
the
date.
conversation, the
I use a
conversation.
second
I
date.
use the second date.
Oh,
Hold on.
okay. I
Hold on.
digress.
On a losing focus on the whole. The
No.
conversation,
No, when I lose a
the
focus.
financial conversation is like sex, right? You're not gonna just take off clothes so and just push it. You gradually go about the process. So the
Sometimes I rip a
conversation,
man.
the conversation is similar. As I say, you peel back the onion, you peel
onion.
back the clothes, right? So you start with the
Think him
shoes
just a pinch,
and
leave
you
an inch and
move with
roll
the
it.
belly.
Careful with the
Right?
financial foreplay.
There you go. There you go.
Yo.
So there is no way we can go on a second date and make a ask about Mayberry unless you work there. You know what I mean? There is no way make a ask
Exactly.
about
But you have to
unless you work at
start to
that
drip it
company.
in, like drip
But
until you get to it.
because
The
all
bucket
right,
full.
for example, if me meet her and I ask her what she do, and she says she work at a call center, automatically I have a ballpark of her income. I can decide, is it a no-brainer, call it a day, because she's not up on my level, or we can work with it. And there, so you throw in some curveball questions. How much kids you want? How you feel about prep school? And you have these financial questions that are indirect, because you can't tell me, say, you work on one call center and you earn X amount per week or per month, but you want your son to go Hillel or Andrews Prep,
ASIK,
etc.
AISK.
Yeah, SK and then them place where you know how much thousand per term. It's a whole heap of money. So by doing that, you've indirectly come back to the same thing without it being unfun, as you put it. Like we can
Exactly.
still up on the club and we are dance and I say, so weird. You want your
Exactly.
kids to go on prep school? And
No,
you're like,
no. Time and place. You have to take them time and place. Time and place.
All right, we're gonna wrap up. But
Mhm.
what may I try say is this: we have to have these conversations. With not on the second date. Let me say that. But we have to
Yes.
have these conversations because, again, you're not gonna waste your time. If you want to waste your money, it's fine. But your time you're not gonna get back. And most of the time people say, oh, when you have the conversation, it's about how much you earn, which is not. It's like what Kappa just said. You drip for find out if you're not gonna on the same financial part. If she want to send PR pitney them go ill, but yet she shall make this amount of money.
Mm-hmm.
A conversation need to be had to say, all right, listen, if you want your pitney go ill, well, let's make a plan.
Yeah.
But
Hold
if
on,
you just so
hold on, man.
But then,
Hold on.
Philip, hold on 1 second, level. What you're saying no, that a conversation needs to be had. That's not a conversation. You're picking somebody's brain. You're not necessarily having that conversation
Yeah, but you see,
about where
picking
we
them brain
going, finances,
is
whatever.
basically
Yeah,
finding, all
you
right.
basically are trick them into answering you.
So hold on then.
That's
Who
fine.
don't all the time for spending money?
So
What that
hold
means
on, Philip, because at the end of
in
the
the
day,
middle, in the middle,
again,
like
that's
a
what I say,
puppy,
it's
you
comfort.
ask
Because, all
people,
right, suppose a girl work a call center, yes? You know what I mean? However, her plan, what she have to get her break, probably have to take 2 flights and do something where probably kind of under the table. So she can tell you that. But she have her way where she say, yo, I make my thing, you know. You understand? So you might think that how are you sure have to make up the gap, you know. But she have her plan where she probably can't tell you yet because hey, me and
so
if I live
some
yet,
illegal activity thing we are
no,
talking
hey,
about.
listen, everybody
Well,
have
listen,
them,
why you have
listen,
some Daniel,
everybody have them
Daniel,
ways.
lady, deal with him there, because we're
Let
gonna
me,
wrap
let
up.
me just
But
say,
Everybody have
Daniel.
them ways. Everybody have them ways.
shared by
Hold on,
level
hold
is
on,
not
Capo,
that of the
hold on,
group.
hold on,
Level,
Level, you
Capo,
never
hold
tell
on.
what the
everybody now
girls
go
them
do
do.
Hold on,
time.
The girls
hold on.
them do some things
Hold
to
on,
level.
hold on. Here one thing. You hear up now, immaculate, what they are with the Bursa?
The Bursa, yeah.
All right. So people have different ways of setting up themselves to get.
For the people that's not familiar, please share them.
Yes.
Please
So the Bursa well, allegedly, well, and allegedly, because it's coming nationwide news and so forth. So the Versa at Immaculate for the
Alleged,
past 7
sir.
years has been siphoning off some money because she employed her mother was employed as a cashier. Understand? And it's over what? $30 million in a 7 years or something like that, Kepo? Yeah,
Whoa.
30
Yeah,
in
something
7
like that.
years.
Some more
Yeah.
millions in the 7
Right.
years.
So at the end of the day, people have them plan, but it's not all plans can be discussed right away.
So you don't want a woman or a man like that, man. You need to
Sorry?
come
So
from.
how will you know?
Oh, you're gonna
How
know.
will you know?
So people need to be honest.
Honest, most,
Stop your
and people honest
foolishness.
You
most
must be
certain
honest
things.
about them dishonesty.
They must be like,
Anyway, not saying we're condoning anything here on our show. It's just to highlight the creative ways that persons go
Creative
about
ways.
to achieve goals.
Right.
Understand, right?
mhm.
And also the ways in which they will trick you and answer you to what you want to hear.
Yeah.
Listen, it's not a trick. It's not a trick. The fact is, you
No,
put
but
in
if
a
me I see
scenario.
$30 million, then I don't
Oh
want you
no,
to
man,
know
that
that. But
different.
yeah,
We can
baby,
talk about
I
the
make
whole prep school
$200,000 a month or
situation.
whatever it is. So
Mhm.
yeah, we can afford it.
Yeah, well, I mean, that kind of unfair. But I mean, to go back to what I was saying, it's not a trick to ask somebody a question to come back around. But and I think that is it with most relationships. People are so basic now. What's your favorite color? What you like to eat? Where you like to go? We'll pass
I'm
them
not
ABC
hungry.
1, 2,
That's
3
who asks them question,
conversation.
Yeah.
Kepo. I'm not asking question, Kepo.
But yeah, what you
Right.
mean? People do it. But what I'm saying, scenarios to me, scenarios put a different spin on how you get to understand the person and how they think and how they just
And next thing,
communicate in
next thing the
general.
That's
Kepo.
some psychology thing. Kept with them.
Aye.
Next thing the Kepo. Suppose the girl have an inheritance to get. She don't want you know, but she don't know yet what kind of money they. She
Then
don't
then
know.
then then oh
Them
now
go-
Suppose
come on, man.
suppose
That not
suppose
fit
she
the
have
price
an
of right.
insurance thing where
hold
she
on, hold on,
you know.
hold on,
That
let
not
Enough
fit
of
the
the
price
things,
of right.
enough
What-
things there now. One
then,
for things there.
then what good is that relationship? She can't tell us she shall get the
Yes, but
inheritance.
you are gonna tell your daughters if you trust someone within
Yeah,
the
but
50.
level. No, come on. I
No,
never
no,
said that.
Man.
You're
No, you have
taking
to
things
trust
out of
somebody
context.
before. I have to trust
You're
you before we
taking
can
things out
talk
of
about my
context.
goals and how me plan to achieve some
Yeah,
financial
yeah,
goals
yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah.
You have to
no
trust them,
scam
brother.
on the
Taking
day of
Suppose you
things
plan.
out of
want
context.
to thief my idea and go make the money off your own. You just want to say,
You're
boy.
taking things out of context, sir.
No,
Because
No, he's
I'm being
not.
realistic. The real word. That's the real word.
no,
No.
everybody,
Because
even
Chanil
if
alluded to
you
the
have,
same thing. So no, he's not.
even if
You
you have
have
a
to be
business
comfortable
idea,
enough.
You have to have
Yeah.
the trust before we
if
talk
the
about some
5 of
financial
us
stuff.
right now have a business idea that we think is a multi-million-dollar idea, none
Mm.
of us is going to come right out and say, yo, you know, I have a dream last night. There are certain things you keep close to the vest, yes, because you want it reach a little weird. So nobody expect you to say, you know, so my father did and left, you know, 2 billion and it cost
Piece of
X amount
food.
of millions and a piece of food to me. No. So her conversation about the same prep school, primary school thing would be the same. So as we go along in the relationship, I'm gonna get to know her, I'm gonna say, so you plan for, you know, you're going back to school because you know, you say that the call center. And then
Exactly.
based on that now, the
In
conversation
stages.
moves.
A
In
onion of
stages.
layers.
So me not go cut her off day one because she didn't want call center, but she want her son go Hillel. But it now means that this girl must have a plan or she'll do something at the table. So day number 7, 8, 9, as we go along now, we start to peel back the financial foreplay, and then now you get to understand, say, and this is the money I come from because now she trusts you. And she say, you know, so
Exactly.
daddy did
And
dead
then
and left
and-
piece of
Now,
food.
my girl, I look on you and I say,
Well,
you
I know,
are
and
part
then,
of the
and then the conversation about money just becomes natural. It not becomes
Natural.
forced. It
But
not feel
I
out
guess
of
we all
place.
say
It
the
just
same
seems the
thing.
norm.
Kepo
Because
does
you
We
are
arrive.
in
all saying the
stages of
same
the
thing.
onion.
Yeah. Kepo does
Yes,
arrive
but
to
We
me
are
from
all
day
saying the
one.
same thing.
Understand?
We're all saying the same
The
thing.
same thing
For
I say
real.
before. The same thing.
we're
Because
saying the
the
same thing, but it look
conversation,
like
yes.
we don't want to wait till day 10 for even
And that
start
me
the
I say too.
conversation any at all. Me I say, want to start
No,
it
but
from day
hold
one.
on,
No, man.
hold on. So as level say, we're going out, we're having fun. At what point, I guess energies will tell you if you really like the person or whatever. And then you gradually ease into it. So I don't have a problem having
All
the
right.
discussion, but
Scenario.
you make it sound like you want to have it too early though, to heavy down the conversation. So
Let's
you're
say you
moving
gone
from a
on
date to a
5 dates.
marriage.
5 dates. Scenario. You gone on 5 dates. When you go out on this 5 dates, every time you go out, a date seem to get more expensive and more expensive. Is it
And you
okay at
asked me
that
to come
point
with
to
you, no,
start to
sir.
have
Hold on,
conversation?
but I understand because it may
Hold
come
on,
again.
the man done him question, the brother.
Hold on,
No,
Man
the
done him
question
question.
hold on.
no, man.
Yeah,
Hold on,
yeah,
man.
hold on. I've been on dates prior to my wife that when you start go out first, me I spend the money, which I had no problem doing. But when certain woman start to spend a certain kind of money, it start go from 1 to 2 to 3. I test the water. No,
Mhm.
that's her way of asking your financial status without directly asking you. So what is
So
so
what's wrong with that?
Hold on.
so what is different the other side around I asking you
Answer the
about
question
finances?
because
Because you are asking me indirectly,
hold on. How should I test your finance? Are you hold on, when you have to put a girl,
brother.
no, you are suggest where you bring her go. I know
No,
she has
sir,
said,
brother.
yeah,
No,
you must
no,
give me
no,
go, yes,
no. I will tell her how woman will test her with that then. If you don't know.
yeah,
You
man.
carry a woman go somewhere one time and
Yeah.
she order one something because she not sure how the packet stay. Tanif, take your hand off of your jaw. Me see you down there.
To move from a glass of wine to a bottle
No,
of wine.
exactly. The
Yeah.
second date, she test you
Okay.
again. She say, all right, me get that and him never say nothing. She trap on something else again. But I'm a
Yeah.
person who watch it, Me not say nothing, The third date, it
Suppose I
starts
get
to
more
go from, and
comfortable.
then you start to notice. I say, oh, so every time we go somewhere different, this be like seem
She
to
talk on
get
something
triple
more.
and triple and triple. So you
Yeah.
know, so she had test you indirectly or
Yeah,
your
man. She
financial
moved from
state.
a Smirnoff Ice and she want a cocktail.
Exactly. So now, what is so different? Me asking you financial question. Never ask you how much you're making, because you never ask me that, What you do, you imply say me have money and you do certain things different from what we started out with in the beginning.
But
So
again,
I'm ask you a question. At what point you stop pay the bill?
When me find the other woman.
Oh, so you never have a problem paying
No,
then?
I had a
this is what we
problem
understand.
because it
We
never, it
understand.
go
This is what we
to,
understand.
it go in an upward direction. So me just
If you
ease
have
up.
if you
Yeah.
have 3 restaurants, one restaurant sell one for 1,000, one sell for 3,000, one sell for 10,000. And you are bringing out the
You're missing the point. You test your result. I'm just
My
saying,
God.
I
But
don't
you can't go
understand what
find
is the
date and
difference.
can't
What me
force
I
it.
try to ask is, what is the difference we are doing from the other side as we cap say peel bad onion from early. So therefore, little bits by bits you're going forward. So you know where you get yourself into.
Yeah, be
Because-
devil advocates.
all right.
Because suppose the girl,
And if
just
it's
like a
like
man,
this,
just like a man, hold on, no. You
Hold
go
on.
the first date, hold on, no, you rub down a one bottle jar. Then you rub down a shoulder. The more comfortable you get, you start move to something else. And the same thing.
all right, let me ask this question. People live this false life though. So what if people live a false life? The man cannot pay out and ask through credit card and this and that, and give this woman a false impression of what his or her financial state.
Brother,
That's why you can have these conversations, because having these conversations can eliminate all them kind of
But
stuff.
if the man
No, but
fake,
then-
he's not
but
gonna be
then-
honest about him finances.
Exactly. How am I going to know that he's not going to be faking it
Well,
That
all
is
the
true.
time?
That is true.
That is
That is
true.
true.
But I guess
Because if
nobody
he's going
knows
to be in debt up to here with
and
his
then
credit
never say it.
cards, then he won't do it.
no,
He's not gonna
make
say it
him
to
do
me.
it.
Well, maybe
Stop your
as let me
foolishness.
say, him just did want the little brand new refurbish because him just there do him or do to go and get little fun outside. Because apparently
So what
Taylor
catch him? The
and Level
stupid?
just go out for fun. Eh?
What caught him? The stupid?
The stupid.
Them
Yeah.
nowadays girl that can't cook soup piece, so you know for
Them don't know nothing about that. Them don't know how
I
to
mean, I
cook a
cook
look.
any soup is up to me, I cook it.
And don't it. Air fryer, microwave, them thing they know.
Can't stay.
All right, guys, thank you so much. We are going to
Philip, I
come to the
have a
end of the
question.
show. All right, sure.
Hold on.
Hold on. Yeah.
I have a question before we leave. So we talked about like financial conversations, we touched on financial foreplay and all of the games and stuff that happen in the relationship. So my question before we go quickly is, you in a relationship with somebody, in a steady relationship, have a household together, for example, share responsibilities and all of that. The money that circulates in between the two of you, is it her money, your money, or our money?
In the real world, let me answer that then. In the
No,
real
nobody
world,
never asked to answer, Philip. Make the other people them answer first.
Okay.
As far as me see,
Start first. Want to hear you level. Go ahead.
No, Capo, take it, Capo. Hold on, take a sip. Take a sip there. Hold on.
all right, for me,
Her money. Your money, her money, or for Uno money?
my money and
Mhm.
my money,
All
and
right.
her money and her money.
No,
Okay.
Full stop.
All right. Level, what say you?
How the bills
but
pay? How the
you know,
bills
so
pay?
really and
How we
truly
do?
still,
What is
it's
discussion?
everything come from. But I love say our money, you know. I love
Oh.
say our money. You know what I mean? But me, the contribution to our might be more from my part. You understand?
No, but
Yeah,
that's
so I go.
different.
Because
Because for
if
me, I mean,
In Capo?
no,
based
no,
on the
if the money is
conversation,
circulate, you know, somebody must
the
have
money I
push it.
circulate, agreed.
Yeah, somebody push money if it circulate.
But it's still mine and yours. Because if
No,
we're living together, as you say, we're
yeah.
sharing bills and
Yeah.
etc. etc. Then
No, you
we
don't share
must,
bills, you share a household.
Yes,
yeah,
you
but
share
that would
household.
You share now household. You're not
okay. So if
necessarily
I'm
bills.
sharing a household, I
Right.
assume, unless
Yeah.
it is that, well, as in a situation where level say you might cover 100%, perfect. You're in a position to do that. But for the average, because remember you're above average, you know, you're a high value male. So the average males out there that cannot afford 100%, so the bills are shared. Some conversation must have been had at some point to say, listen, all right, I am earning X. So I will cover 1, 2, 3, 4, and you cover 1, 2.
So, Capo,
So
let's
it is
categorize them not as bills, but as responsibilities. Because
all
if you
right, responsibilities. Fair
it's
enough, fine.
not a bill, that is not a bill
That
in a
is
house.
true.
That is
That is
just
true.
things you do.
So you
Yeah.
So
responsible
how
X.
So right. So if you are more financially capable of covering more responsibilities than your female counterpart, it is still our money. But in the outside of the responsibilities and the extra stuff that may happen in the relationship, mine is mine and yours is yours.
okay. Level, you agree
Capo.
with
No, can't agree with that.
okay.
Can't agree with that.
What say
Sorry, Capo. You know what I mean? Because the reason we can't agree with that because, say for instance, if you're a divorce, how would that go? So it can't because when you're divorced now, it's not like it's all right. What you come with, you go on with, or me come, we go on with. No,
Why? Why not?
not the case.
Why
It's like
not?
Mm-mm.
prenup,
It
Doesn't
not
work
right?
like that after.
And I say it work,
Oh.
Capo.
and that's
So the
how it
fact
works.
that it don't work that way there, the fact
Mhm.
it don't work that way there, you have to just approach it that way there. You know what I mean? At the end of the
Right.
day,
It's a-
you
and,
have
and I will,
marriage.
and let me
Because
add
guess
to
what?
that.
Look what, well,
I will
guess
add
what?
to that.
Because
At level is a hold
Capo.
on. Level is 100% right. It is ours because if divorce fi go on, it a go down the middle. It not
Well,
gonna say where you come with and what me come with. Down the
people like
middle.
when you fail the exam. The exam question never said married. They said you are living together in a committed relationship. When you must read the
Okay.
question twice, you know. It's a circle the answer,
Yeah,
not tick it.
but then part
So
B
read
of
the
the
question,
question,
right?
part B of the question says committed relationship, and you have
Fine.
Commitment
responsibilities.
can
I'm
be a
sure you
marriage.
mentioned.
Understand?
Commitment don't
Well,
must
and
mean
I'm sure
marriage.
Yeah, come on, law.
you mentioned kids,
Responsibility.
right,
That's
Tanya?
why Tanya used the word responsibility.
So
Yeah.
well answer since when kids
Right.
need marriage.
So
No,
1, 2,
that
3,
but
4,
people
5
not
years.
married
So if you're
are
committed for 5 years, what happened?
Come on, law.
They don't must be a marriage.
Come on,
hold
law,
on.
Common
marriage.
law
Say
Hold
only
on.
that, though.
applies if
Pick
you're
up it.
living in the
I'm not
same
saying
space.
marriage. You can have a house together and not married. You have kids
Mhm.
together and not married. That's
True,
responsibilities.
true.
Right.
So you can't necessarily think it's marriage. And if you have a significant other, so to speak, and things go south, I want to have these responsibility down the middle.
Down the
Down
middle.
the middle.
So it's not
Fine.
yours, it's ours.
Agreed. But as I mentioned, but me just not do the joint account.
That me not do either. Me can say that on
Me
camera.
neither.
Me and her, we not doing that.
We don't.
Maybe it's a disguise. You have my real account one side and make it look like the one I would join.
No, man, me not do that, man. No, not even that me I do.
If
You
make
know
her
where
comfortable,
the
sir.
money dead? If me dead. That's it. If me dead, you know where the money dead. That's it.
That's
No
it.
more.
That is it.
That is it.
Bye.
And on that
Listen,
note,
hey.
thank you so much, guys. It's been real.
Yeah.
On
Hot
that
topic.
hot topic.
Like it.
Hot.
So please like,
Hot
subscribe,
daddy.
share. This is Relationship, where average people have real discussion of what goes on in and around the sphere of relationships. So until next time, I'm your host, Philip. Thank you, Tania, for coming on, my lovely wife. Mwah. Miss Jaw, is always good to see you, Mr. Controversy Level.
Why upon
Until
that?
next time, see you and keep watching.
May I let a blow? May I to let a blow?
Yeah!